And the United Nations Children's Fund has identified poor implementation of Child Rights Act as a cause of the high rate of child abuse in Nigeria. The child protection specialist, Unicef, Sharon Oladiji, made this known recently during a media dialogue on convention rights of a child at 30 in Nigeria. Correspondent Linda Ike reports that she stressed the need for government to prevent and respond to violence, exploitation and abuse against children.
The Convention Rights of a Child has been in existence since 1989. In 2003, Nigeria adopted the Child Rights Act and pledged to domesticate the Convention on the Rights of a Child. The CRA, which covers civil, political, economic, social and cultural rights of a child, also has 4 key principles, which includes survival rights, development rights, participation rights, and protection rights. Unfortunately, they have not been effectively implemented in Nigeria since the adoption. According to the health experts, constructive dialogue held in Geneva on the 26th May 2010, while the concluding observation was made available by 11 June 2010. Since then, the law has not been reviewed. Speaking at a media dialogue on CRC at 30, UNICEF Chief of Communication, Eliana Dracopoulos, who noted that the Child Rights Act is not fully implemented, called on government to ensure a process is made to realize the children's rights completely in Nigeria.
The Child Rights Convention is a convention that's not actually being fully implemented anywhere in the world. So there's a lot of progress that needs to be made in Nigeria and in every other country, really. And we want to see this year, this anniversary of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, as a really important moment to recommit for governments to say, we realize that there's still more that needs to be done to fully implement this convention and to make sure that children's rights are fully realized, and we want to do more. And so this is a moment that UNICEF is really wanting to push governments on.
The child protection specialist UNICEF, Sharon Olajide, lamented that the negative treatment on children today has a lot impact in future. She stressed the need for the act to be domesticated and implemented completely in Nigeria.
A child has a right to live, to survive. When he's born, to be given care. When he's 2 years, to be given, or 3 years, to be given education. When he's 5 years, this, when he's 10 years, this is where rights comes in. And we all grow up as babies. So these are what I would call fundamental.
Public opinion analysts Philip Nyam and Kehinde Akintola said Nigeria has made a progress in domesticating the arts, but needs to put more efforts to ensure that all the 36 states domesticate and implement the arts fully. They also cited culture and religion as challenges first in the north and called for the need to sanction anyone who violates the law.
To some extent, that has been achieved, but not much. But we can say that we have achieved something because some states have actually domesticated the Child Rights Act here in Nigeria. Some are finding it difficult, to come to terms with the provisions of the act. This act basically has 3 primary objectives.
Go to major streets across FCT where we believe laws are being implemented. You see them, and you feel so sorry and ask the question, do they even have parents? At this particular point in time, this that we are speaking, you're supposed to see them in their classes. But assuming there is punitive measure put in place to ensure that whosoever violates basic principles and responsibilities is sanctioned, and you give them stiff sanctions.
However, societies are judged by the way they treat their children. By November this year, the Convention on the Rights of a Child will be 30 years since it was adopted and ratified by 194 countries, including Nigeria. Linda Ike, MITV News, Abuja.